So, this is my thoughts on the week for 2025 NFL scores for the Thursday night football game between the Seattle Seahawks at Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings versus Pittsburgh Steelers game in Dublin at Croke Park. For the first ever regular season game, they call it first ever game, but it's first ever regular season game. They had a game in there in the 1987 season during preseason, but Arizona came back late to try to come back late in this one. But it looked good. It looked not bad. Kyler Murray did not play his best. He had 2 interceptions in the game, but there in the game, it looked like Seattle was gonna try not hold on this one late. But in this one, it looked like it was kind of a low scoring. Then Arizona kicked a field goal in the first to make it 3-0 Arizona. Then it was 7-3 Seattle lead after a touchdown, and then 14-3 in the second. And then the third, they started get a 44-yard field goal. Okay. Seattle's not playing at their best. Arizona's not playing at their best, so best top. And he thought, okay, Seattle's Arizona's defense not better though, keep him in it. But then the third quarter, you can see the field goal was kicked by Arizona. He thought, okay, maybe Arizona's gaining a little momentum. And then that couple touchdowns with 9:30 to go field goal, and then made it 14. And then a touchdown pass from Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison, touchdown. And then Keto with a 7-yard touchdown. Murray leading here. Keto with a 7-yard touchdown pass from Kyler Murray. And then UCG Sellers kicked a 20-yard field goal. So that was a not bad game for Seattle. I mean, Arizona did not look bad, but they looked good in that second quarter. Or not, fourth quarter, Arizona didn't, but he thought maybe Seattle Seattle was gonna not hold on to that lead. Maybe best case scenario for Arizona was overtime. The worst case scenario was probably a loss. And it was Seattle. You want to hold on and win it. Regulation. And that's what they did. They won it in regulation without going overtime. Win would be the best case scenario, but they had a quick touchdown drive. They didn't need overtime, maybe 30 yards. And they did just that to win. In the game you signed in Croke Park, the Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Minnesota Vikings 24-2. Pittsburgh look solid on defense. Their offense, they did not have tons of offense. Last week they only had like 200 yards of offense. This week they had 288 yards of offense. Minnesota looked good in that fourth quarter, but they look not bad. Their defense, wasn't keeping was holding, not playing super well. But it was doing okay. Just Rodgers was getting out quickly and stuff like that, and just Metcalf and everyone to get yards after catch, and Rodgers wasn't doing too much, just knowing what he needed to let the offense yards after catch. The receivers, Metcalf went to game well, but good bit. He had 2 touchdowns. So it was a close game. It was a close late, but with those two, the only bad thing for the Minnesota Vikings was Carson Wentz. He had those 2 tip pass interceptions. They weren't really on Carson. They count against Carson Wentz, but they're not his fault really. No, they're just tip passes. You say those are bad plays, No, you really can't. You really can't put the blame on him, saying they're the worst passes in the world. because they just got tipped by linemen. There was a couple bailout, one where he threw an interception in that second quarter, in that first half. It was back in the end zone. And that was almost cost him. And then they had that one in the fourth late where he double caught it. He caught it, and then it bobbled. He bobbled. Pittsburgh receiver, defender, and then ended up being a touchdown. That would end up being an incomplete pass because the receiver did not have the defender did not have complete possession of the ball. So that turned into a close one. But and then they had the intentional running, and that was what really hurt him too. And that tends to rough in the intentional running. But just their offensive line, also the Minnesota Vikings offensive line, couldn't hold up in that one. They couldn't hold up in that one. That was really the problem too. Is they had some backups in at offensive line, and you know that's what really hurt them. Otherwise, if they didn't have backups in the offensive line in that game, Carson Wentz might have had more time, like he did in the Cleveland in the Cincinnati Bengals game. He would have had more time to throw the football. So, there's the offensive line. That second string offensive lineman, the backups for Minnesota, and they cannot block that well. That's the problem. They just cannot block enough for, if you can get some good blockers in the blocker, and that's the problem. Like one person goes on the offensive line, they come back. Then you get another different player on the offensive line. That wasn't hurt. So that's what hurt. Minnesota Vikings in years. Minnesota Vikings in general. And then, so Pittsburgh, not be super flashy, but he can make up a big 80-yard touchdown pass. And he had 2 runs. So not bad, but not amazing. Going stings. Now we have the Washington Commanders. They're intending to have Falcon. And the Washington Commanders with Marcus Mariota quarterback. And he scored a touchdown. They get 10-7. Those are in the second quarter. Giants live in that one. That's a CBS game. So it's Commanders at Falcons. Washington Commanders at the Falcons. Commanders at the Giants. And they've Jackson is starting their quarterback. And the Giants are looking good now. Because they did not look too good. Randy Daboll's probably trying to save his job as New York Giants coach. And the LA Chargers, he needs to score. They played 3 division teams for Kansas City. They played Oakland Raiders, and they played Denver Broncos. So they look not bad, but that's what you're saying. But this game might not be looking the best. We got the Houston Texans. Try not to go to 0-4 start. The AFC South. You have Indianapolis at 3-0, Jacksonville at 2-1. The other two teams, Tennessee Titans, you may have expected a 1-3. Houston Texans, no way did you expect a 1-3 start. The Philadelphia Eagles over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 14-3 early in that one. The Patriots, 7-6 for the Carolina Panthers. The Bills. That's a Fox game. Is Carolina Panthers at New England Patriots. Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers is Fox game. CBS game is Tennessee Titans at Houston Texans. And the CBS game is the New Orleans Saints at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is 14-7. And there's right now, and then the second quarter, and then the second quarter, the Cleveland Browns at the Detroit Lions is a Fox game currently on right now. And 2 more Fox games in the late window. In the Fox window, the late window. Jacksonville Jaguars at San Francisco Raiders, and Indianapolis Colts at Los Angeles Rams. And then Chicago Bears at Las Vegas Raiders, and Baltimore Ravens at Kansas City Chiefs. 2 games in the CBS late window as part of the doubleheader. The Jaguars, 49ers, and Colts Rams games are part of the Fox late window, but it's the single late window, which means these are 5 after 4 or 5 Eastern.